Welcome to the Hiring and Empowering Solutions podcast. This podcast is dedicated to providing the key ingredients to transform your employees into a dream team, creating consistent results in every aspect of your business, including your people, your process, and your profits. Your team empowerment, leadership, business development, communication, hiring, and firing. As some of the country's leading staffing and management consultants, we help business owners, i.e. entrepreneurs, and the team that support them, what we call intrapreneurs, to powerfully connect and work together to grow the business. Okay, today we are talking about appropriately as we sit here and close the books on crazy 2020. Today we're talking about what firms will be left standing in 2021. And I really think if we've learned nothing in 2020 is that consistency, a strategy, a path and plan, and staying in action has been what kept our heads above water. When we look at law firms, as we have for the past 25 years, and kind of look at what the common denominator is for those that not only survive, but have controlled growth, measurable growth, and they're very intentional and clear on what growth means for their firm. Those are always the firms that are unflappable during a pandemic, during a financial crisis, between whatever the stock market's doing and what media is throwing at us based on fear, what have you. They have tunnel vision and they're uber focused on their goals and the roles that each person in the firm plays into it. So really the firms that will be left standing in 2021 are those that have a framework and a structure within their law firm that they're so unwavering and unapologetic, and they don't let each other in the team off the hook for dodging or ditching or procrastinating. They have the essence of holding each other accountable to the goals and dreams, often in spite of ourselves, including the attorney. And we're willing to kind of feel the fear and do it anyways while holding a space for breakthrough collectively as a team-centric approach. So in the years that and especially since 2020, the firms that I serve as their fractional CEO and or their fractional CMO, I can tell you the ones that have not only made it through, but have had controlled growth. They've had increase in revenue. They've increase in their leads, increase in their conversion rate. They had decrease in their process of the life cycle of the file. They're paying attention to all the things that quote unquote matter, and only those things that matter, which are your people, your processes, your production, and your profit. Those are the four legs, the four-legged stool, so to speak, that matter. And that is it. They're not paying attention to everything else. So the firms that really are going to survive and be left standing in 2021, especially since virtual, invisible, and online and digital are not going away. In fact, they are now our new normal, as many of you have seen. You've revamped and pivoted your processes internally. So the ones that have a framework such as hardwired, unapologetic board of director meetings in their calendar every single solitary week. Even if the attorney's out, we still hold them. Even if so-and-so's out, who's the lead on that, we still have them. So you have a weekly all hands on deck team meeting that you're following a structured agenda. It's facilitated by the non-attorney, the non-business owner, so whoever is serving in your COO, CEO role. If you don't have one, I'm going to be as bold to say is you better call me and or the other people that you have in your professional tribe and find someone to serve in that role like ASAP. Do not start 2021 without that. That you have either your Monday or Friday meetings, same place, same time, 1 hour a week, everybody in the firm, led and facilitated by somebody who is serving as your CEO, COO, PLA, whatever term resonates with you. And if you don't have that person in your firm, outsource it ASAP and make sure it's somebody who understands a small solo law firm. Number 2, you're going to have a weekly marketing meeting. This is the area where we see such a breakdown. Again, same place, same time, hardwired in the calendar every single week. Don't care if it's just you, the attorney, and your client service coordinator, because they are at the helm of your marketing team. Again, you need a CMO. Same person, CEO, COO, PLA can serve as a CMO. You don't need to go out and spend. The average CMO salary right now is north of $175,000 base, plus a very healthy commission and incentive-based compensation plan. You don't need to invest in that. The same skill sets, the same mindset, the same unapologetic accountability all reside within a CMO that equals that of a CEO or COO or PLA. So you're going to have those meetings. Number 3, you are going to have your production and process meeting where you're going through all WIP, work in progress. You're making certain that holding everyone again accountable to what they're doing, who's doing what, etc. That's your weekly framework. If you have a CFO or a finance team, you are going to be looking at finances weekly in your team meeting, not necessarily sharing them with your team, but just making certain that you're reaching goal. If you have an outsourced bookkeeper or CFO, you're going to have a monthly meeting where you are looking at collected revenue, you're looking at projected revenue, and then you're looking at goal to actual. You're backing into your numbers. You've heard us have many podcasts on Know Your Numbers. If you haven't listened or you don't have that framework, email me, reach out, comment, let me know, and I will give you that sample framework for knowing your numbers. So you're going to have that every single month. These are the best practice approaches that the law firms that will be left standing. I cannot say enough how critical that weekly marketing meeting is, because you're going to follow, again, a hardwired agenda where you're really clear on the things that we need to be doing to stay visible, to get into 2021, to be competitive within our marketplace. So many law firms we talk to have very little nurture and or visibility marketing strategies within your plan. It's really clear that you have to in 2021 if you're going to be left standing. And I'm talking about there are firms that are coming to us where they're like, this has to work. You have to save the day. You have to make this work. This is what we need. But they don't know what this is. So I'll offer up these 4 questions for you really to ponder and do as a year-end exercise and give yourself this gift. Number 1, what's been draining you? Get really, really clear and get pen to paper and document that. Number 2, what's been inspiring you? Number 3, what are you looking forward to that you haven't been able to tackle in 2020 because of lack of resources, time, money, people, bandwidth, energy, creativity, whatever it might be? And then get really clear on what you're dreading. These 4 power questions will give you the clue to what you need to get really, really clear, what you need to have the honest, well-respectful conversations about, and where you're not making decisions as a business owner and a leader. And you won't be able to hide from this. But when you get really clear on that, that's going to tell you what you need to handle, what you need to dump, what you need to clarify, and what you need to make decisions on before you walk into 2021, if you're not going to have another version of Groundhog Day and waking up to that, again in 2021. Handle it, declare it, finish it, take care of it, before you end 2020. I know this sounds very simplistic, and you probably think that we're coming into, those that spend X amount of dollars on marketing, that have X amount of conversion rate, what have you. That's secondary after you have this base framework, this crucial framework in place where you stop ditching meetings, where a lot of times it's because we don't want to have the conversations about what's draining us. We don't want to have the conversations about what opportunities that are out there that are inspiring that we can't get to. We don't want to have the conversations about what we're dreading because it requires us to do things that are outside our comfort zone to stretch us. And we don't really know how to get started, and we don't have the accountability. So the moral of the story, if you will, is that you have to have accountability at the base level of your firm. Can't be the attorney. It needs to be somebody designated that has the permission, the responsibility, the authority to really hold everyone accountable, really from a place of driven discipline and integrity while pressing for action, commitment, and constant growth. I don't mean expansive growth. I don't mean obscene growth. I mean constant growth, consistency, accountability, standards around communication, standards around tracking, measurement, all that. Within those meetings, your weekly team meeting, your weekly marketing meeting, your monthly CFO accounting bookkeeping meeting, when you have all of that in place, now you add a strategic retreat too, where you're doing quarterly strategic retreats. Get one on the books in January. One full day, an agenda led by somebody, the non-attorney, and somebody who really has the skill set, the mindset, the emotional intelligence, and the makeup to manage and drive the hardwire foundation to support you in being one of the firms that are not only left standing, but one of the standout firms in 2021. So make this investment in yourself, in your firm, in your employees, free you up so you can be the entrepreneur in 2021. You can be the ideation, the activation, the maximizer within your firm. If you need help with discerning and deciding who that is in your firm and or employing or deploying an outsourced resource such as myself that I serve in, and that, yes, it's a shameless plug, but it's my favorite thing I've been able to do for 25 years, and not only be able to save law firms, but support them and get them on the track where they're unflappable if anything happens in the outside world. They're not reacting to circumstantial situations. They're consistently responding and really responsible to the framework of the best practice approach to set up in their firm for all things people, process, production, and profitability. So reach out, let us know where you're at, where you need help. Don't suffer in silence. Ask yourself the 4 power questions. Make certain that you set up the framework, you enroll your team, let them know this is what 2021 is going to look like, and then declare who it is that is going to drive the bus and navigate all this and be responsible and has a permission to keep you all in line and accountable to make certain that you are left standing out front and up front in 2021. Good luck.